Hey guys, how you doing? Desmond Collins here with tips and tricks, guys. Today I'm actually working on my Mini Cooper, my 2006 Mini Cooper. I'm about to do change the oil on it. And so guys, I'm doing this as a tutorial to help you guys out so you can save yourself some bucks on changing the oil on your Mini Cooper. This is a first generation Mini Cooper S with the supercharge on it. I love this thing. But it is time for an oil change on it, guys. So first of all, let me tell you what you're gonna need to have to actually make this oil change complete. First of all, you need to have some old clothes on because you're gonna get a little bit dirty. I got my jacket, I'm gonna take this off so I can get dirty. Got my old clothes on, it is. Next thing is we're gonna hunker down and go through what other stuff that you need to have in order to make this oil change complete, guys. First of all, you're gonna need oil. I prefer to use castor oil. Actually come highly recommended by BMW, 5W30. Next thing is you need a gasket. I personally use STP. You can use Bosch if you want to. I think just paying $10 extra, there's no point in doing that when this works very well. I mean, I've put over 30,000 miles on the car since I've had it, and I've not had any problems with these filters. The filter number is S, which is S for Sierra for S, 9584 STP oil filter. Next, you're gonna need a 36mm socket to actually remove the oil filter cap. Okay, you're gonna need a breaker bar like so you can plug it into the socket in order to turn the oil filter cap. Next, you're gonna need you a ratchet and a 5/8 deep socket if you prefer to actually remove the draining bolt off the bottom of the motor. Okay, next thing you need a small flathead screwdriver because there's a gasket that actually goes on the filter itself that you have to remove off, and it's not humanly possible to remove it with fingers, so you need to have something to get in there and move it off. Next two things you need, you definitely need an oil pan because you got to have something to catch the oil in. I mean, this is common sense. You got to have one of those. And last, you're gonna have to have you a filler in order for you to pour the oil through to fill your engine back up with oil, guys. So with that being said, now that you know what you need to start your change on your Mini Cooper, your oil change on your Mini Cooper, we're gonna dive right into it. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and remove the filler cap off of the engine. Most people say, why do that? Well, it's just like this. If you ever had those cans of juice that came back in the day, you had to put a hole in on one side and put a hole on the other side. Well, guys, if you remove the cap off, it allows the oil to drain out, and you get more of the sludge that might be in the bottom of the motor, bottom of the oil pan, to come out as well. So you want to remove that to get that ventilation in here. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the oil filter from the car. Okay. Excuse me. Can you get me down here? The oil filter is actually located down here. You can see right here where my finger's touching. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 36mm socket, put on top of that, and you're going to go ahead and turn it and take the filter off. I'll be back once I have the filter off. The filter is now loose. Getting ready to pull it on out. I put my pan down there just to catch any oil that may come out. It's going to be a little bit of it. Now, I'm actually doing this while it's hot. And that's the filter right there. You can see it's real nasty and grimy and everything. So go ahead and sit this down. And now that we have two ventilation spots now on the motor, we got the top of the motor open where you fill it up, and we actually have the opening right there where the oil filter goes to. Next thing we're gonna do now is go ahead and get down here in the bottom and go ahead and open up the drain field. Actually the oil drain plug, and go ahead and leak the oil and pour the oil out. All right, guys, be right back. All right, guys, just wanted to make sure I point this out to you guys. This is actually your drain plug right here for your oil. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and get my 5/8 socket, put on there with my ratchet, and go ahead and ratchet this out so I can go ahead and let the oil drain out, and we'll be back with you guys very shortly. So now we got the oil going out of here into the pan like so. So what we're gonna do now is let's let that sit there and go for a while, and go ahead and drain the motor on out of all of his oil or whatever. And we're gonna actually go ahead and work on the filter side so we can get all that stuff put back in. We'll be ready to fill it back up with oil and be ready to rock and roll. Alright guys, so now we have our this is our old filter inside the canister. We're just gonna go ahead and remove that. This is real nasty there. And this is our new filter right here. Now what you want to do now is you want to make sure that you're replacing these filters exactly the same. As you can see, it has two different ends on it. This is the end that actually goes down into the canister. Same as on here. This is the end that goes down into the canister. This is the end that actually mounts up to the side of the motor where your filter goes in. So what you want to do now is your extra oil that's in here, you can just go ahead and pour this in into your drain pan to get the extra out of there. And you can go ahead and you can get a paper towel if you want to and wipe the extra out if you want to. I'm just not going to do it at this point. It's not really going to hurt anything. So now what you want to do now is get your O-ring out that actually goes around the filter housing. So, and this is where your small flathead screwdriver is going to come into play at. So you want to sit here praying into this thing to get it off. You just take this, get in there, and pull it out. Sit that over there. Go ahead and open this one up. Take it. And put it onto your housing. Now as it heat up, this of course this right here will seal better and tighten so you won't have any leaks coming out of your car and getting all over the place. So really guys, it's really simple. You just take your new filter, sit it down in the housing. Now what you want to do is make sure that you get it down there and good and seat it properly, because if you don't, it will not close up all the way and you will have a horrible leak, and that leak will turn into oil loss in the motor, which will turn into having to blow a motor, and trust me, you don't want to blow a motor in a minute. So guys, with that being done, what we're going to do now is go ahead, while we're still letting the oil drain out, take the filter and go ahead and put it back in. I recommend just hand tighten it from the beginning, then you can go back and get your 36mm socket and go ahead and tighten it all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and put this in and we'll be back. Okay, so at this point now, the oil filter's in, it's already locked in and everything now. So guys, what we want to go ahead and do now is just go back under here, put the drain plug in. So got my drain plug right here, socket. Want to turn it back the other way so you make sure you tighten it this time, okay? So now you just take your drug, go ahead and take your bolt, your drain plug, and put it back in. And I recommend moving your oil pan out of the way that you use to drain the oil in, so you won't accidentally dip your elbow inside the oil pan. You would not believe how many people do that. Go ahead and tighten it up. Now they say it's recommended that after you let it run for a little while, you might want to go back under there and just tighten the drain plug a little bit more, give it a little extra torque on it, just because it may loosen up a little bit when you start riding and vibrating, which is typically normal. So guys, once you're done with that, all you have to do now is grab your funnel, place your funnel in right here, go back and grab your oil. You got to have the oil put in there. Remember, put oil in motor, okay? You don't put oil in motor, motor go boom, okay? And it locks up, then you, at the BMW lot, dropping about $7,000 for a motor and labor and all that other good stuff. So remember, oil, motor. Now, how many quarts you want to put in? You want to put about 4.5 quarts of oil in here, like so. And no need to sit here and wait for it to go through. You can go ahead and we'll come back after we put it all in here. All right, guys, once you have it, you've put your 4.5 quarts of oil inside the Mini Cooper. Just go ahead and put the top back on. Make sure you put the top back on, because if you don't, you will have you will have oil. Make sure you clicks too. You will have oil shooting out all over the place, and before long you'll be sitting inside the road because your motor locked up on you. So make sure you put the cap back on. All right, guys. And that's basically it, how you change the oil on your Mini Cooper. Like I said, I have a first gen. I'm quite sure all the Mini Coopers pretty much work the same. Now, guys, what you want to do is you want to make sure that after you finish changing the oil that you police up all of your tools. Unmilitary words, put all your tools back where you got them from, okay? Also, you want to make sure, so you won't get fined, that you take your oil and you put it back in the container that you take the oil and put it in this container, and you take it to your local refinery and drop it off. You don't just throw it in the garbage, because you could get fined for this, okay? So once you're done with that, you're pretty much good to go, guys. That's it. Saved myself about 90 bucks on an oil change if I went to somebody who was not, a BMW dealership. If I went to the dealership, it would have been right at $115. So it cost me at Walmart $27 for 5 quarts of castor oil, synthetic. I spent $8 and some change at AutoZone for my filter. The initial buy for my socket, the socket cost me actually $8.47. The price tag is still on there. I had my breaker bar for years. I think I paid about $10 for this. You need to have a good socket set and everything. So guys, you probably already got this stuff around your house anyway. So with that being said, guys, this is Desmond Collins with tips and tricks on how to save yourself some money, showing you how to change the oil in your Mini Cooper. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helped you save much money. Rate, comment, subscribe. Oh, one more thing, guys. I had to come back and say this one more thing. I don't care what that manual tell you. I don't care what BMW tell you. Listen to me carefully. You want to change the oil in your Mini Cooper every 6,000 miles. Not 15,000, not 20,000 miles, or whatever it is, that crap they're telling you. If you want your motor to last for a long time, I highly recommend that you change the oil every 6,000 miles. I repeat, 6,000 miles. Did I say it wrong? Hear me again. 6,000 miles. Anyhow, rate, comment, subscribe. Take care.